Hi and welcome to Whisky Shared. You're watching my review of Glen Scotia, the Grand Tour. I'm Toby and you're watching Whisky Shared. Welcome to my review of Glen Scotia, the Grand Tour. This is a Scotch whisky from the region of Campbelltown, and this particular whisky has nothing to do with the Grand Tour, the TV series. It's actually a 20th anniversary bottle for the Whisky Exchange, and I picked it up in 2019. I was at the whisky show in London and this particular whisky was there, and you could actually draw some of it from a cask. I don't think it was a real cask, but you could draw it yourself, and I was in love. So at the end of the show I went to pick up a bottle from the shop and it was sold out. So I was slightly disappointed, but once I got home I had a quick look online and actually found it on the Whisky Exchange website, and it soon arrived. I opened the bottle and I was thoroughly disappointed. This particular whisky has got much better as the bottle's gone on. Either the whisky's changed or my palate has changed, but it's actually a really nice whisky now. It's a 12-year-old, it's from cask 204 and it's one of 209 bottles. It's aged in a first fill bourbon cask and it's cask strength at 54.6%. And of course it's non-chill filtered and natural colour. Should we find out what it tastes like? On to the whisky. So before I start nosing and tasting, let's have a quick look at the colour. I'd say that is like a light gold. It really does have quite a light colour for a 12-year-old in a first fill cask. Let's start with the nose. Right, so the first thing I get is like a herbal note. There's a slight floral note, almost like heather. There's some sweet peat in there. There's like a hint of star anise. There's some cinnamon. And I'd also say there's like a hint of petrol. Obviously being a Campbelltown, it is quite it's quite normal to get a funkiness which is like fuel like. But yeah, let's move on to the palate. Yeah, so the first thing I get with this is sweet peat. There is a sweety, smoky note with this. It's not too overpowering at 55% pretty much, and it's not too punchy. It does like a little bit of water. You can add a little bit of water and it does take the edge off, but it doesn't need much at all. I'm also getting some wood smoke now. The smoke is quite wafty and that sweetness in the background. Let's have another sip. Yeah, there's quite an oily mouthfeel with this. It really is quite nice on the palate. There's sort of icing sugar. That's obviously the sweetness I was picking up at the start. That sort of icing sugar, sweet powdered sugar note. It really is quite nice. And there's also like a citrus note, like lime, it's definitely like green citrus. Let's have one final sip. Yeah, I'm starting to get notes of sea salt. Really does have a salinity to this, and I'd also say that sort of petrol note that I picked up on the nose, it comes across like paraffin or kerosene. It's that sort of note to me. In terms of finish, I'd say it's very long. Very long indeed. There's heat, there's chili pepper, there's that salt, there's also some mint and vanilla, and then there's that wafty wood smoke that lasts forever. In terms of value, well, this was $69.90, so £70 in the UK from the Whisky Exchange. Obviously, it's a special edition bottled exclusively for them. Doesn't necessarily make it any more special than other single casks, but the fact I got to try it, you know, before I bought it and was actually really impressed, meant that, you know, the £70 for a 12-year-old single cask, you know, was a no-brainer. I didn't even have to think about it. But the downside was, obviously, for the first probably quarter of a bottle, it just didn't taste right. It didn't click with me, and it didn't really make me reach for it very often. And as you can see, the bottle is almost empty now. So as the bottle went down, it got better and better for me. It really sort of switched on my palate, and yeah, now I'm probably going to be disappointed once it's gone. Unfortunately, being a single cask and obviously being available some time ago, there's probably, you know, zero chance of ever finding one again. But hopefully you found this interesting, and I think Glen Scotia and their single casks are definitely whiskies to look out for. And yeah, I'm going to have to replace this with another soon. If you've tried this or something similar, let me know in the comments as always. And yeah, if not, I'll see you next time. Sauncher.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not give it a like or a comment, and please consider subscribing for more videos like this.